actually recording because I think I'll be giving shit about this every single time because we have a full podcast that I did not record once. Welcome to the Couch Command. I'll be your host, Keith Justice, who is very tired, as you can probably tell, after lots of overtime. With us today, I think, on video for the first time, Kid Mystery.
Holly, hi. Yeah, first appearance of me.
Right on, man.
Since I'm at least now 20, can it just be mystery now, or am I still kid at last?
I've actually been thinking about that, and I think it happens organically. When you just can't help yourself but stop saying kid. But
All right.
Billy the Kid was like 35, I think. So like it's not derogatory.
No, I get that.
Also today we have Isaac from Lobster Magnet Reviews.
Hey, I'm so excited to talk about this movie. I think it is one of the most interesting flashpoints of superhero media and culture, and I think it has become a very fascinating cultural touchstone of the modern political climate, and I cannot wait to dig into it.
Right on. We also have with us Emjay.
Greetings and salutations. Thanks for having me back.
Right on. Okay, so next up is I'm going to take a shot at summarizing the movie. Or Isaac, did you want to?
I can try. Let me get a shot.
Go for it, man.
We start media res, where James Gunn uses a very interesting 300 years, 30 days ago, 3 hours ago, 3 minutes ago, where basically all of the totality of the Superman origin story is contained because he doesn't care. Superman is brought to heel at the Fortress of Solitude after losing a battle. Then Lex Luthor goes into the Fortress of Solitude, destroys the Superman robots that we were just introduced to, and kidnaps Krypto the Superdog before we really get to understand Krypto the Superdog. Then we get to meet the Justice Gang. Lois has confrontations with Superman herself. Then it's a bunch of CGI nonsense as Superman is turned out. People think he's evil and he's put into an alternate dimension where it becomes the most peak anti-superhero film that I think is just designed to give people over the age of 50 headache, where Superman flies around in a CGI sludge puddle while trying to save Metamorpho's baby in Lex Luthor's alternate dimension, where he extorts his incel rage against former girlfriends and has a army of monkeys who write bad comments about James Gunn. Superman. From there on, Superman rallies as he fights a boring version of himself, but the Daily Planet, intrepid acts of the Daily Planet and his super gang help Superman overcome the day and show us that the true power, the greatest superpower, is being a punk rocker, and being punk rock is going through things with the power of love and empathy to the point where you'll even save a baby squirrel, from a kaiju if it comes down.
Oh man, go Superman! That's my guy. All right, and now we're doing initial thoughts, right?
Yep.
Okay. My initial thought is I love that this is a result of James Gunn getting canceled. I was there when it happened. Like, political people came after him, and they're like, "You went to a naughty party," and they're like, "Whoa!" And then like Disney didn't think twice, but canceled him. His heart was broken. He thought his life was over, and then he was like, "Wait a second, I'm James Gunn. I'm the guy." And yeah, he took control. Like, he knew he was valuable, and like he reached out to get DC's like, "We'll take him," and then Marvel wanted him back, and then he's like, "Now I have a full kingdom of my own," and he made Superman. I wish he. I'll say it. I wish he didn't. No. I love this movie. I love this movie. But like when I found out that, like, I was like, DC is finally being handed over to someone who cares a whole lot. And there's like that one script out there from, I think, Mark Millar. This description of one of the greatest Superman sagas of all time. I was like, yes, like, let's do that. And like, I wouldn't have trusted, and I kind of don't trust James Gunn, the gunslinger punk guy, to do Superman. He's not the person I want to see it from, but he did God bless him. Like, he gets the job, and he's going to step up to the plate and swing for the fences in his own way, and I respect that a lot. And we did really get one of the best Superman movies I've seen. It's a big mess, but it goes directly to a lot of things throughout time that I've been saying, guys, you got to do this with Superman. Like, you have to bust him down to Superboy levels of power, and then also make him Peter Parker. If you ever want a Superman movie to be successful, Superboy power levels and Peter Parker. Otherwise, everyone always gets bored and tired of the Messiah Superman, except for me. I love all that shit. But yeah, I enjoyed it, but I will say it was quite the noticeable mess. Kid Mystery, what'd you feel?
Yeah, as a person from the once previous newest generation, now that's what, Alpha now. Me and basically I think all my friends, anyone who I've seen it that is around my age, loves it. I felt it was like a very fun, upbeat kind of movie. It's hit all the points I wanted to see from a Superman film. It has certainly some problems that I'll get into later in the detailed thoughts, but it is, I think, a good start, like Iron Man levels of starting stuff for the DC universe.
Good start. Isaac, what'd you feel?
Oh boy. Never have I felt like I am perfectly in the center. Overall, I am positive. I think the points that it like gets right, it gets really right, which is why so many people are resonating with it. But I also agree with all the detractors. I do think it is an overly messy movie that tries to do too much. I really wish this was a stripped down movie that kind of like focused on the things that really work, like Lois Lane and who's the person who plays Lois Lane, the marvelous Miss Maisel actress?
Oh,
Rachel Brosnahan.
Yeah, Rachel Brosnahan
really
and
good.
Kevin, or what's the Superman's actor? David Schwashblack something?
David Corenswet.
Thank you, David Corenswet. I wish that we had a movie that focused more on their dynamic and their relationship, that didn't have to shoehorn the Justice Gang, that didn't have to introduce a Lex who has super science, black hole, I can make a universe in my spare time powers. I think it throws a lot of really, really complicated ideas at the audience and just expects them to go with it. I think the idea that like Superman loses to a robot man clone thing that Lex Luthor is using as a fighting game tool as he screams AB, A1F, 5B. Is a lot to process. I think just like putting him in a Kryptonian suit would have gotten the job done, or just making him like a super Metallo-Krypton robot. I think the movie is like needlessly convoluted. It tries to do too much, and like I kind of mentioned in my summary, the moment where I was like really kind of like thinking, oh my God, this is an unrecoverable disaster, is the moment where like Superman has to save the weird green baby, metamorphosed green baby. Oh, here's a character who's never been in live action, who has weird, bizarre powers and can turn himself into an ethereal octopus. And Superman's got to go save his. Somehow he made a baby. I don't know how he made a baby. You've not introduced to me how this guy works, other than that he can make shit, and somehow he's got a baby. And Superman has to fly through the CGI sludge while fighting Master Chiefs to try and get this fucking baby in this CGI hellscape that just looks awful and terrible, and it's just this computer vomit, this awful computer vomit. But it does manage to rise above it because of the core idea of Superman's characters. And Keith, you hit the nail on the head. Superboy powers and giving him Peter Parker energy, where Superman is just a guy. He's just a relatable guy, and that is what the film knocked out of the park. And honestly, I almost kind of wish Krypto the Superdog wasn't in there, because I think for how little he's in the movie, you could have done fine just without him. I just wish the movie was a little bit more stripped back, and I also agree with Keith. I think James Gunn stuck the landing. but he was not the guy for this. You could tell that this was like tearing teeth out for him.
He's not the best man for Superman.
He's not the best man for Superman.
But I like remixes.
Yeah, exactly. You could see how much he was like trying to bend the film to make it something. It's obvious that he wants to do like a Justice Gang film, or a movie with like all the weird monster characters from the DC universe. But like a more straight-laced Superman is not his forte. So he twisted it enough to make it interesting to him, which I don't think was the benefit, but I think his ultimate talent was able to shine through. And I do hope that, like, if there's a sequel to this, that he considers giving the reins to someone else and is just kind of like a tastemaker who approves the script.
All right, and then Matt or MJ, what'd you think of it?
You know, Isaac, for somebody who says he's middle, you're I don't know, dude. I mean, it was a fun movie. It was way wilder than I expected, but then again, I had to remember who was the man at the controls, because this movie was James Gunn to a T.
Oh yes,
everything that's great about his stuff, and everything that's a little tired and beaten. At one point, I almost felt like I was watching Thor: Love and Thunder, but thankfully not nearly that bad. I thought he nailed the casting top to bottom in this movie. Corenswet and Brosnahan are great, Clark and Lois. I was kind of surprised at how much I loved Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner, because I have despised Guy Gardner forever until the Jeff John runs in the Green Lantern books in the late aughts. But Nathan Fillion was just spot on for Guy Gardner, and Edie as Mr. Terrific. God, he was a real star of the goddamn movie. I thought Mr. Terrific was amazing in this movie. But yeah, I mean, you could just see Gunn off to the side of the screen just dumping out the toy box and going, "Oh, yay, what can we crash together now? Yes, yes." You could hear him salivating from off screen with basically every frame of this movie. But to his benefit, he had a 12-minute sequence of Clark and Lois arguing semantics and morality. And I'm like, who are you? Where did this James Gunn come from? Where have you been? Mm-hmm. You choose now? Okay, well, okay. Thank you. I mean, I actually quite like that scene. I know a lot of people are like, well, it slowed the movie down. Like, I love the back and forth between the two of them.
Absolutely.
And it perfectly profiled who Lois is going to be in this universe, and perfectly profiled who Clark is going to be in this universe. I was amazed he did it, and more power to him.
Yeah, I love the naivety and pureness of this Superman, because like I've had these exact arguments on Facebook, and I knew I was wrong too. Like I liked how he's the embodiment of a normal person, normal guy.
Yeah, it's like a kid from Kansas who can fly. I mean,
yeah, and I was like, yeah, if I get superpowers, no, I'm not letting you do war. I don't care what any country says. I'm punching you guys until you stop, and that's the end of the story. And
though sticking the Barovian leader up against a cactus might have been a little extra, but
that was a step too far. But I loved his. I don't care about what rules I'm breaking. People are going to die, and I'm not letting that happen. And that meant so much to me to hear.
Yeah, and then Lois turning it and Clark turning into a debate about what's better, actual punk rock versus pop punk, and God, such a James Gunn conversation right now. It was probably an exact conversation he had with his wife, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I kind of echo the sentiment with you guys that I kind of wish Gunn had maybe just written the script and not directed it. Maybe that would have helped foil some of the, dear God, this roller coaster is almost off the rails energy they started getting, especially with the CGI vomit that started coming with the Pocket Universe CGI. And then when the Pocket Universe was ripping apart Metropolis, that whole final fight between Clark and Ultraman before he kicks Ultraman off into the black hole. You know what? This is no better than the 40 minutes of destroying Metropolis between Clark and Zod and Man of Steel. It's excessive. It's just excessive.
Oh, I just want to talk about that because I'll say that now that it's a success, I've been trying not to say this out loud. I still like Man of Steel way better. I feel
As a top to bottom film, I have to agree. Yes.
It was well constructed, and like the point I'm gonna try not to lose is shoot, I'm forgetting it. What did you just say about the CGI? Oh, the fight. The problem with the fight and the climax of Man of Steel was my only problems with Man of Steel, where that he just like did it. Like the atmosphere maker machine, which is supposed to take away his powers, so therefore he needs to figure out a way to destroy it. I want to see the process of that victory, but instead he was like, nope, I'll just blow it up. And like then also just snapping the neck of Zod, like this is the moment where I guess I can do it. But in the James Gunn fight, there are progressions of like objectives you need to clear before you can get to it. And because of the love of his dog, or love of that dog, even though it's not a good dog, which I really liked hearing him say, he's like, it's not even a good dog, but it's alone and scared. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, this is it. This is Superman.
It's a pain in my ass, but I still gotta watch out for him.
God bless it. I love that line. And like, yeah, because he cared about a dog, he had that extra element. So like, it wasn't action spam. There was structure to the battle and climaxes they did. So that I like.
Fair point. But it seemed to go on too long, and maybe if it had been more practical instead of just CGI vomit left, right, and everywhere. But I know on the scale of Superman, you can't really do practical and still keep it believable, which is kind of inverse how it normally is. But after years upon years of all this excessive CGI, I mean, Quantum Mania probably killed CGI vomit for me for the next 15 years.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I just appreciate when they, to Isaac's point earlier, if they could scale it back a little bit and made it a little more personable, I guess is the way to put it.
I think scaling real quickly, just the Man of Steel thing in comparison, the scaling back also I wasn't too good with, but I think it might have been a good choice. A problem I felt with this Superman was also that I feel like it didn't set the stage well to a bigger world that we're about to experience. It felt too contained, whereas the epicness of Man of Steel, where you see the true fall of Krypton, and he's just like, he's going Jodorowsky's Dune all over the screen, and like you feel the giant epic of like the Superman myth, which I didn't feel here. I felt this was a good comic book that I picked up.
And to be fair, I mean, Snyder did build up how epic the godlike stature of Kal-El was in Man of Steel, and that was the epic, but it was so small scale on Earth because it was the reemergence of the heroes on Earth at that point. In Gunn's world, heroes have been here for the last 300 years. It's normal everyday life for everybody in this world. So that was the world he was trying to introduce, and maybe that's why he felt the need he had to go smaller scale, more contained around Clark and his immediate sphere of people, just to kind of introduce that world, because he probably isn't too comfortable with everybody knowing that everybody's watched Creature Commandos before this, because that was his previous DCU project before this, and now Peacemaker is going to be spinning directly out of this movie now, featuring the Justice Gang with the Peacemaker. So,
the Justice Gang's in Peacemaker?
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Peacemaker season 2 is a direct follow-on to the Superman movie.
I heard it was really important. I just didn't know that they were in it.
Oh yeah. Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific are in there. They're even in the trailer.
Great theories of like how they're going to be bridging the universes. Like they aren't going to ignore that Peacemaker ran into Zack's
Justice League.
We're not ignoring that Peacemaker was in Zack Snyder's DC. Like we're actually still caring about that. And then like I think he's going to cross over, and that's like why we saw him draw a gun on himself. Like I really like that. Like I really thought they're going to go, oops, we're just going to ignore that happen. But no, we're still in there. We're still doing the story. I
also heard that rumor has it that in the DC James Gunn universe, because they're doing like a kind of a multiversal thing, bridging the gaps. If you've seen Pacemaker, you know that
Pacemaker is another show.
Peacemaker brother died in that universe, but I hear in the James Gunn new universe for season 2, Peacemaker's brother is alive. So that's how they're kind of differentiating it. Yes.
Mm.
Oh, does that mean his dad's alive again too?
Possibly. I think I saw like a image of like his dad being alive.
An excuse to bring back his favorite actors. That makes sense. Like I said, it's super important that they actually care and they're going to actually do it, instead of like where I was completely convinced like we don't care. It's just he's just there. Don't worry about it. But instead there's going to be like an actual plot thing that will be building in the universe. And I think also the reason why they had as much of a small scale as like I felt that they did was because they were trying to not call their shots anymore. And I think that was probably damaging to Zack's DC, where they're calling the shot. They're like, the Justice League is coming, and here's this grand thing for it. And then Darkseid getting this grand thing for it. And so they're like, no, like how Iron Man did. This is just a Superman story, and we're stopping here. And then organically, we can maybe start building up to more.
Though I did appreciate the appearance of the Hall of Justice. I'm like, yes, Super Friends, here we go. Yes.
Same. Although I disliked that they made a joke out of it where it's like, it's a barely filled office room. Like, come on.
They gotta start somewhere. You know, rent's not cheap, man. Come on.
Yeah. I also feel like what they're probably going to do is like, so this is the first time you see it. The next time you see it, there's going to be more people. It's going to be more organized, and then it's going to grow on to something.
Although, you know, the Man of Steel, I got to bring this up because I think the one thing that kind of shows Gunn's strengths versus Zack Snyder's, that both this film and, you know, Man of Steel / Batman vs. Superman deal with the ethics of, like, you know, what is Superman's role in international politics. And in Batman vs. Superman, it's like, Superman shouldn't. Does he have the right to? And they have senators discussing because it's important and blah, blah, blah. And look at Superman saving all these people while he looks like he wants to kill himself because everything's dark and serious. I thought James Gunn handled it much better with the Lois Lane Clark conversation, where, you know, Lois doesn't do fluffy journalism. She does real journalism. And Clark kind of blows up at her.
Yeah, that's curious that they both did that. They both had Supermans that involved themselves in Middle Eastern conflicts. That's curious that they both went there. I wonder, like, I don't know, I have meta commentary on, like, America's role on the national stage or something like that, and they can't help but mention it. Also, it's because of the world we actually live in. And if you have a Superman, the question is like, so how does the Superman fit into our current world? So it would make sense that like we're doing that now versus before, where what was Superman's main conflicts back in like the 80s? Just corporate evil guys.
Bad writing. I don't know.
Evil corporate guys and weird space anomalies.
I guess in the 40s it would be Nazis.
Yeah. Go back to us watching Superman punch Nazis. But yeah, at least we didn't have Richard Pryor and creepy robot lady come popping out at him in this movie. So,
but we did have the Superman 4 plot of getting a strand of his hair and cloning Superman directly.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed Nicholas Hoult didn't pull a Gene Hackman going, Miss Tessmacher! Like, Eve, stop taking selfies! Like, oh, come on, just Miss Tessmacher once. Just once!
I was disappointed in the reveal of Ultraman, which, like, in these movies, I do dislike. It's always the most lame thing possible. Like, the like, there's so many, like, ideas, and, like, I knew they couldn't do Henry Cavill because that would be disrespectful to Henry Cavill. And there are all these ideas. I was like, it's just going to be a clone. They aren't going to try. And they didn't. And it was just a clone. They didn't try, which...
Well, isn't Ultraman a clone of Clark in the comics?
No, it's an Earth 3 thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Evil Superman.
I feel like they're using him to set up a Bizarro, and then eventually he's going to come back as Bizarro, potentially.
And I think that, to me, it's once again them trying not to call their shots too hard. Like they want to self-contained. Like, no, we're not introducing an Ultraman from another universe, because then you will start thinking about the entire universe, and we're trying to keep things on track, which I do get and respect. And yeah, like I said, like James Gunn was not the best man for the job, but I highly respect that once he had the chance to do it, he didn't pass it up. So I respect that.
Yeah, Isaac, did you watch any of that Josh Horowitz Happy, Sad, Confused interview with Gunn that I posted a couple days ago?
I think maybe I saw some clips of it. I don't know if I saw the whole thing.
Gunn actually did kind of say a few things here and there about future plans for the franchise and for Superman, and Bizarro's not off the table. So Bizarro may show up, and apparently Gunn's next script is another project involving Superman as a character, but not primary. But he wouldn't reveal any more detail beyond that.
Well, I think everyone's kind of like, because that's what makes this like film so frustrating, or not frustrating, interesting, is that like on one hand it is like, bringing a new Superman, some would say the most archetypical, important, and defining superhero that has struggled for so long, and to try and make him relevant to a modern audience. Two, it also has to kickstart on an entirely new universe. Three, superhero films, which have been bolstering Hollywood for the past decade, are kind of not in a good place right now. So, if this does not meet expectations, then it is dead. The DC universe is smothered in the cradle. The Marvel universe, which is teetering on oblivion, probably goes out. If you can't launch Superman, then the entire thing's kaput, and it's video game movies for the next 10 years until someone else gives it a shot.
Sweet baby Jesus. No more video games, please.
Hey, as long as it's done right. As long as it's done right, we can have his... Because I like it. I actually really liked that Minecraft movie. That was really good, I thought. But
it plays good times. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Staying on target.
Let's see. Superman's costume. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it's not good. Like,
no, it's not.
I've been battling for decades now. Like, please put him back in his trunks. And I still think we should. But oh man, they did not nail this costume at all. Like,
no,
I'm going to go to bat for his. I'm surprised you haven't put up a picture of the costume, but I'm going to go to bat for his costume. And
really?
Yeah. The reason I like it, and the elements I really like about this movie, they feel heavily influenced. I'm sure Gunn will never admit this, but it feels heavily influenced by the Max Landis American Alien run of that he did. And his idea was to kind of like strip Superman down to his basics, where like it's basically a 7-issue miniseries. Each issue is a different stage of Clark's life, and each one has a different artist and a different tone visually. So the first issue is like a very sweet Amblin era comic of like Superman, being a kid. The second is like a more hard-edged teenager story. Superman dealing with like some evil rednecks. I forget what the third one is. It's like he gets mistaken for Bruce Wayne and parties on Batman's yacht.
Oh, I read that one. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that one.
Cool.
And then eventually the costume he has, and his whole idea is that like his ethos for like writing Clark Kent is like he's just a guy. He's not the smartest man. He's not this incredible stoic thing of wisdom. He's just a really, really good dude. And his armor, kind of like it was like a little bit like battle armor, but it had that like padded look. I'm gonna see if I can find a image just so I can like tell me that that's not the inspiration, because I know at one point before Max Landis was disgraced, him and James Gunn were pretty good friends before James Gunn became like one of the god emperors of Hollywood.
I know it almost. Looking at the picture, it almost looks like a offshoot of a Bryan Singer production. It looks like it's leftover costume from Singer's X-Men movies, but the Superman colors slapped on it. I'll give it credit that it's brighter than the Singer movie or any of the Snyder movies. I'll give him credit for that, and of course the trunks. But I mean, it looks cheap. I don't know why it looks cheap.
It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit on him right. That is one of the biggest problems. And yeah, I'll say that's mainly it. Because like I love the idea of what they're going for here. Because I hate spandex. I hate spandex so much. It doesn't look right in the present world anymore. It looks silly.
It looks fine on Christopher Reeve, man. Do not knock the OG.
It does. Even back then, I was like, why is he wearing that? Like, who in the world is
because
like,
it's breathable and it's a long shooting day, Keith. Leave me alone.
Like, what superhero, like what warrior, what sci-fi person is like, okay, I need to wear this like form-fitting like tights, and like, stop doing that. Like, and like I always wanted, like, I always like the idea of like it being a Kryptonian uniform or something like that. So this is why I think it's best mainly inspired by, with all the ridges and whatnot, and it's very alien. I like that, but like you said, like it doesn't fit him right. It's not.
No, it doesn't
awkward. Have the right. Yeah, it's really off, and it should be better. It should be better than this. Although I like where they're trying for. They just did not get to it.
Did what you call? Did you? I put a link to the American Alien costume just to see if you agree with me that I think it's like his Superman outfit is inspired by it.
Actually,
yeah.
Or is this it? No, that's not.
Do you see the studio chat?
Studio chat. Yeah, I was looking for that.
Private chat.
Oh wait, there it is, and found it. And ooh, I like that.
Oh, that's my personal favorite. The Kingdom Come inspired outfit for Brandon Routh from the CW.
Yeah, the trunks look right.
Crossover. Right.
The trunks look good.
That's still my favorite. Isaac's images of the next one in the series there, Keith. That one. Yep.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh.
I love the armor look. This is the good right direction to go in for Superman's costume. But yeah, what they end up doing, it just is not hitting it. Like it's a poor fitting costume that needed some extra work.
Well, after all the debate they had about including the trunks or not, they're like, all right, fine, good enough. Moving on.
I'm all for it. Like, I wanted the trunks back. I'm glad we got it one last time, and now I'm good. But this is the direction I think Gunn should go. Let me get this in here. Gunn, this is the costume that Gunn should go with next, and I think he's going to, because this fixes all like the problems of like too much blue being a dead zone with the cape. But I think this is the next iteration that James Gunn will go with, and like this is well placed colors and looks modern, and yeah, I'm glad we got trunks one last time, but I think we should go in this direction here, which is I think Superman and the Authority.
That design is so 90s. The only thing it's missing is extra pouches.
Pouch bands around the legs.
Yes, like the Rob Liefeld design Fallout. Yes, but
I think the color flow on this works. Like how I know people want to get rid of the trunks, and if they do, just don't make his whole body blue. That to me is like
yeah, it's
this
too
right
monotone,
here
too monotonous.
is way too blue. It's
yeah.
not. It just feels wrong.
It's Superman for the 2000s, man. Come on.
Yeah, I've always hated this costume. I hated it when Supergirl put it on to further legitimize it, and like
oh yeah, Supergirl. Hey, there's one to segue to. How about the new Supergirl? We got Millie Alcox from House of the Dragon as the new Supergirl. Kara, what everybody think of the new Supergirl there in her brief appearance at the end there?
I thought she seemed really good from the 5 seconds. It's hard to judge because we've never really gotten like a movie Supergirl. We've seen Supergirl in animation. We've seen her.
We got a girl Supergirl. What are you talking about, man?
We got one.
We got the Flash, obviously.
No.
I stand corrected.
Guys,
all right.
We have the first movie that was called Supergirl. That was the first Supergirl movie.
Back in the 80s.
Oh, good point. Oh, yeah, my God.
It was supposed to it was supposed to segue in with Christopher Reeve's Superman. They were supposed to have a movie together at some point, but Superman 4 flopped so hard, and Supergirl flopped so hard, it killed it all.
I'm one of the only people on the planet that loved that movie when it was out. Like, I remember my family and I rented it, and like I was like sitting on the floor in front of the table, and my family was on the couch behind me, and they're laughing, just writhing in agony watching it. And I was like, what is everybody's problem? Like, this is great. We're getting to see Superman's cousin. And yeah, it was, I guess for everyone else, it was just too stupid.
It went pretty hard on the silly. I mean, not as hard as Superman 4, mind you, but it went hard on the silly. But I am kind of looking forward to the Supergirl movie just to see what they do. I'm not a terribly big fan of Party Girl Kara, but we'll see how it works.
I'm a fan of what seems like a far more potentially flawed Kara that has a lot of room to grow up. I like that a lot. Where she was like, "See ya, bitch." And I was like, "All right, I can get with this," because like, yeah, she. I miss having my flawed heroes that, like, it looks like she has the high potential to fuck shit up, in a bad way, and then like, yeah, to grow from it and like have people come together to. I think we had a good start here. She's not just
her and Krypto. Her and Krypto growing up at the same time, because Krypto seemed to be just as immature as she was. But yeah, just her having the whole arc in that movie and having it go against Jason Momoa's Lobo, which I'm wholly looking forward to.
Oh my god, yes.
He is going to be a far better Lobo than Aqua Bro. I hated him as Arthur Curry. I'm like, no, Aqua Bro, no. Enough with the Aqua Bro. Get him off the screen. I mean, don't get me wrong. His 2 Aquaman movies were fun, but he's not Aquaman. He's Aqua Bro. He was Aqua Bro from start to finish. That's all he ever was in Snyder's verse. So, no. So I'm glad he campaigned and got Lobo. He was personally texting Gunn from the moment Gunn was announced as the new head of DC Studios for Warner Bros. Like, dude, Lobo. Come on, Lobo.
Yeah, I appreciate that so much. Because, like, to me, he never made sense as Aquaman.
Arthur?
Like, I was like, I was like, are you doing this just because you want Jason Momoa? Is that bad?
They wanted that guy from Game of Thrones because he'll really bring in the kids. So,
there she is.
Yeah.
Major news, by the way, if we want to pivot a little bit. I know we're focused on Superman right now, but major news from the Marvel side of stuff. Reboot. Yeah, reboot time. Well, soft reboot, but like certainly a reboot with recastings and stuff. Is President Kevin Feige has announced that Secret Wars will serve as a pivotal reset for the Marvel MCU.
All right, let's put a pin in that, and we'll do a separate episode. Let's stay on target with Superman. We'll come back to that.
Okay. Give me a link, and we'll see if like we can do this at the end. But
sure.
Curious, like. No. It does.
Definitely worth conversation, but let's come back to it later. Yep. Okay.
So Supergirl. I'm excited about this because it's going to be. It looks like you're going full space opera. No Earth. F Earth. I love getting off of Earth. And then like having Lobo as a space bounty hunter is going to open up so much world building potential.
I just want to hear him call her a bastich. Just over and over and over. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah, ever since like Jason Momoa became popular, everybody's like, you know, he would make the perfect Lobo. He's as perfect as like there's like throughout time there's like perfect casting. You think, well, it'll never happen, because like I remember like before Xavier was Patrick Stewart, that was like fan casting of the highest caliber, where you're like, what if we got the perfect guy? It'll never happen, but what if it was a perfect guy? And then they actually happened, and we're like, all right. And Jason Momoa was the next guy. Perfect.
Yeah, just like Edie is Mr. Terrific and Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Who knew that those would be pitch perfect castings for those roles either?
Yep.
And I'm totally looking forward to the Lantern show, because apparently Guy Gardner's going to be in that, and they're going to have Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, and like, fucking yes.
Yeah, but I fear they might go the route of like the previous animated DCU thing, where they make Hal Jordan, you know, the bad guy, because they have no clue what to do with him, and his solo movie failed, essentially. Because like I've heard that they're wanting to make Jon Stewart like the main kind of character in the Lantern show, which is why they're casting an older Hal Jordan.
The premise of the Lantern show is that Hal Jordan's going to be training Jon Stewart how to be a Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I've heard of the premise of the show, but I've just been wanting a good, solid, decent Lantern show ever since they kept teasing it in the CW shows, because they kept putting in all these damn Green Lantern Easter eggs, and we never saw a goddamn Green Lantern. Then they finally popped them into the Snyderverse, and like, okay, we're just going to ignore the Ryan Reynolds movie. Thank you. Moving on. Which also had Taika Waititi in it, so maybe that's why it sucks so hard. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just looking forward to good, solid Green Lantern. If what Gunn sensibilities showed with Green Lantern in the Superman movie is going to translate into the Lantern show, I'm all for it. And hopefully, if there's any justice in this world, they'll bring Mark Strong on as Sinestro, because I thought he was the one good thing about the Ryan Reynolds movie. That was pitch perfect casting for Sinestro.
I super appreciate them just not with Peacemaker. I really love that they aren't like just throwing him away and never going back. And
Gunn had too much fun with that show. You could see. I mean, the opening sequence, for Christ's sake. I mean, that's just screams Gunn. Plus, his wife is employed on that show, so of course he's going to keep trying to make Peacemaker as long as he can. But because his wife is Amelia Harcourt in Peacemaker. You guys weren't aware. Yeah. So anyway,
didn't they?
There you go. That's the Lanterns. That's the new Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan from the Lantern show. And Hal looks a little ragged there, but
let's see. When it comes to my science fiction, I hate Beyond Earth. I hate it so much. Like any Star Trek that wants to go back in time to present day Earth, I'm like, oh, okay. Or Stargate. It's just like, okay, this episode. And now with Lanterns, it does sound like they are trying to do police procedural on Earth, which I'm like, okay. And so like, I don't want them to pull back on the fantastical. Like, get them into space as soon as you can. So I'm definitely bracing myself for it, because like I know that like money doesn't grow on trees, and like the Green Lantern TV show I want is probably way too expensive for like something that's still untested. But like, yeah, they're going to be a lot on Earth is just like, all right, I trust you, James Gunn. Just make sure you don't.
They are the Lanterns of Earth, so it's not that much of a stretch. But police procedural, I guess I hadn't heard that part. That's
yeah.
I mean, hopefully, if they do that, they do that. They realize what a bad idea it was, like on Gotham, because the show Gotham on Fox originally started as a police procedural for like the first 3/4 of the first season.
Mm-hmm.
And then they realized that's a really dumb idea. This is boring as fuck. We've got the entire Bat Gallery and villains cadre that we can pull from, and they just went full crazy with the show, and that's why I loved it for the subsequent 4 seasons.
No, I always hated Gotham.
I loved Gotham. They didn't give one shit after first season.
Did you watch it all the way
loved
through,
it for
Isaac?
it. Yes.
Did you watch it all the way through, Isaac?
No, I've only seen like maybe 2 seasons.
So maybe you stopped before it got good.
I don't think it ever got good. I think it just went to Hamtown, and it seems like MJ appreciated that. And if you wanted like
I appreciate when they realize what show they're making, and they give zero fucks about making it. That's why I liked Legends of Tomorrow after the first season, because they realized the same thing. They're like, fuck it, let's just do whatever we want. Let's just spaghetti chuck and do it, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate shows that do that. I mean, as long as they still stick the landing at the end of the season, I'm fine. And Gotham managed to do that. Legends of Tomorrow managed to do that. Hopefully, if Lanterns is boring as fuck, they realize what the fuck they're doing and they fix it quick, because I want a good Lantern show, damn it.
Back to
maybe it'll segue to the show that Keith wants to see. I don't know.
Back to Superman. What else should we like once this podcast is done, is there any like topics that we're like, oh, we should have talked about that? Can you guys think of anything?
I really wish that Gunn I know earlier I praised his 12-minute back and forth between Lois and Clark. I kind of wish that he'd kind of put that same sensibility into most of the significant character interactions, because just a joke a fucking minute for
Agreed.
3/4 of the damn movie. And like the one sequence when Clark flies back to see Lois and she has a cup of cocoa for him because she knows he's having a shit day. And you see the Justice Gang in the background beating the shit out of
That's why you have the
a
coke.
space anemone and Guy Gardner just wailing on it with his big oversized Green Lantern bat.
You saw me. I fell out laughing.
We were both giggling. Yes, we both love that scene. But how much?
But yeah.
Keith, do you remember anything of the conversation between Lois and Clark during that scene?
No, I was laughing too hard.
Exactly. Gunn, I love Gunn's sense of humor. I love his sensibility. I love the fact that he just loves to play with all the toys he's given. For fuck's sake, let scenes breathe. The only 2 scenes he let breathe was the Lois and Clark exchange, and then the scene between Clark and his dad back in Kansas. That was it. Everything else was just off the rails, joke a minute, overacting, whatever, CGI vomit. Just rein it in a bit, James. I know where your heart is, and I appreciate where your heart is, but rein it the frick in, man.
Yeah, this is why I didn't want him as a Superman director. But once again, I love him.
Well, okay, you've made that point a couple times now. Who would everybody have rather seen direct Superman? I know in the past you've said Matthew Vaughn, Keith.
No.
Matthew Vaughn would probably do a really good Superman movie.
Top of the list. I've been wanting him to do it since he got turned down for Star Wars. Like, it was him and J.J. Abrams for doing Star Wars. And, like, ever since then, I've been like, yeah, Matthew Vaughn is a wasted resource that is not being tapped, and he needs to be doing something big. Like, Stardust, I think, is the greatest example of, like, how great I think he can be.
The modern day Princess Bride, yes.
He basically saved the X-Men franchise and never gets any credit for it. First Class, like, that thing was like dead and buried until First Class, and his monumental casting and execution. The guy never gets enough credit.
I'm hoping, like,
except for Argyle, that movie sucked. But anyway.
was that with Henry Cavill?
No, yeah, that's right. That was him in the green crushed velvet suit. Yes,
Oh, Vaughn, I didn't see Argyle.
Vaughn, I really like to see Vaughn come back to an epic scale superhero setting again. I mean, because he's made Kick-Ass, he did X-Men First Class, and obviously the Gentleman movies.
Don't forget
or
Kingsman,
not the Gentleman, the Kingsman. Sorry, the Kingsman movies.
Technically comic books.
Yeah. The second Kingsman was also very good. Very Indiana Jones or how? Yeah. Matthew Vaughn is the guy.
I'd love to see that sensibility applied to Superman or any DCU movie at this point. But I don't even know what the hell he's up to nowadays. But Isaac, Mystery, did you guys have anybody else in mind that you would rather seen directed?
That's a tough question.
Yeah, it is. I've been thinking about it for years. That's why I have my answer. Otherwise, if not Matthew Vaughn, then because like we are in an era of like shrinking famous people. Like directors used to be like there used to be more famous directors, more famous people. So and also we used to be more open
reliable
to
brand name directors, maybe reliable brand name who's created their own brand and can be consistent with it.
And had like styles that we want to go to see, like which I feel like I blame society.
I have a good one. He'd never get the opportunity for it, but I think Edgar Wright could do a good Superman movie.
Do you think he'd want to try after he was railroaded off Ant-Man?
No.
No, he does have the right heart though, and energy.
He does. I would love to see what he would do with it. I would have loved to see an Ant-Man if he'd been allowed to stay. But
what would they're both punk rock, so like get James Gunn and Edgar Wright in the room together and let them make some DC in a way that maybe he won't quit from doing.
Although I was kind of curious, what did we haven't talked about Lex Luthor or Jimmy Olsen. What was the crowd's consensus on this version of those two characters?
I love Nicholas Holt's casting. I don't know why, but his Lex felt a little undercooked.
Yep.
It felt like his scheme was overly elaborate, but not really sinister. I do give Gunn and Holt some credit. He wasn't self-promoting the whole fucking time like Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor was in the Reeve movies. It's like, wow, for being the world's greatest criminal mastermind, you should get your ass kicked a lot. Yeah, I liked the base of who they have Lex Luthor as in this world, but I don't know, it just didn't seem like it was written very palpably. I mean, he'll just occasionally whip out a little bit of cruelty, like, haha, I'm going to shoot the guy you met once. Oh,
that was pretty hard.
Yeah, that one suddenly hard, and then they just veered away back to silly. I'm like, oh, okay.
James Gunn sat down with Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in Smallville. And I loved him. The declaration he laid down is like, just so you know, you have done the best Lex Luthor. And it clicked like, yeah, he did. Like, Gene Hackman, I'm sorry, man, but like, Gene Hackman did a great job of being himself and made an immortal like character and role. But when it comes to being Lex Luthor, like, right, Michael Rosenbaum is still the king. And I wanted Nicholas Hoult to take the crown because, like, I've seen him throughout time and he's got some serious acting chops. So I really did think that, like, I thought he was going to come in and take the crown. But yeah, once again, James Gunn and his limits. It's just too, like, he doesn't have the gravitas so far that I've seen that is needed to really give us a meaty Lex Luthor versus like A1, Z2, Z2.
Oh,
and
yeah,
like, I was
calling
like,
out the battle moves. Yeah.
and then like there's this one part that in the movie that was like my first moment where I was like, oh no, I'm just gonna turn away and pretend I don't see this ginormous flaw.
Yeah, when they had him in
the cage with the Elemental Man, and like just let him go. We got him trapped. I'm just like, no cameras, just let's go, let's get out of this. Don't look at him anymore. There's no way Superman will figure this out. And like, you just, all he has to do is talk to him, guys. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're leaving him in the room with the guy who can charge him back up too. What are you doing? So
yeah, but I have his baby. He'll never do it. Ha ha.
Yeah, and even then, like, I hate realism, and it has no place in my world. But like, yeah, I have your baby, so don't try anything. Hey, you're trying something. Bang! Like all they did was like just like hold the baby. Like, oh shit, he's doing something. What do I do? Like, you have one order on what you do if he does anything.
The minion panicked, Keith. The minion panicked.
Yeah, he did.
But the one last thought I have about Lex calling out all the attack moves for Ultraman, I'm like, this reminds me of when my friends used to sit around playing Nintendo, and when somebody had the cheat guide for one of the games, and he was calling out the cheat moves to his friend who was actually playing the game. It just had that same energy, like, okay, left, right, up, left, right, up, left. It was really. This is how you're attacking him, really?
Yeah, I was not the hugest fan of that, and like Superman just can't figure it out. He just can't figure out the right move, which I don't know. But like, it did play into what I need in my finales, which is there was something for Superman to figure out and overcome, and he did that through Krypto. So,
well, the idea of that is that, like, you know, Lex Luthor is smart enough to fight Superman. He just needed a body, and that body was through the power of Ultraman. But I do think it was like a really abstract. I thought it was a lot to expect the audience to process at the very beginning of the movie.
I don't know. I mean, the cold opening coming into the movie. I know a lot of people didn't really like that. I mean, personally, I would have liked to have seen how Lois and Clark actually met and started dating, and she already knew that Clark was Superman. That was the one bit of background information I would have liked to have seen, but maybe they'll get to it later. I don't know. Whatever. But to Gunn's credit, I do understand why he's like, you know, everybody knows this story. Everybody knows Clark's origin. Comes to Metropolis, meets Lois, works at the Daily Planet, yada, 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 yada. We don't want to do that. That's one of the things I did kind of appreciate about like the MCU's Spider-Man. They came into it, they didn't have him getting bit by a spider. You didn't know if Uncle Ben's death motivated him or not, and they still have left that pretty murky. I appreciate what Gunn was trying to get to. He's like, you know what? We have something to get to. We're trying to get there. Here's a good intro without being an intro. So glad you guys like it.
That is directly George Lucas style, which I did love. George Lucas, he is known for wanting to start his movies at the end of another movie, and we got that directly in Superman. And like I've seen him how much he is trying to gun for. Like he really wants no
gun for, huh?
Was not trying to do that. Not trying to do that. But like, yeah, he's trying to do Star Wars. Here's my one disappointment in the movie. This shot right here is pretty disappointing to me because, like, let me tell you why.
Okay.
Like one of my favorite things in the universe is like hero saves kid last second, and then like, boom, he goes in slow motion, and like the finisher shot I should have been seeing is these things pinging off his back as he's like, bing, ding, 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 and like the trailer to me was setting me up for so many visual of him actually stopping the impact, and like they like bang off him and fly out elsewhere. And instead, it was just this. It's just this. It stops there, and I don't get to see him actually ding 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 ding. I was waiting for that like since the trailer, and it's just cut away. Like,
it's still a pretty cool moment. I can see why Gunn put that in the trailer, but yeah, to your point, yeah, it would have been more interesting to feel like ding, 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 bouncing off the Invincible Man. But
yes,
but my favorite shot is still when after Clark flies back into the city and he stops that building from falling in that one last car that's trying to escape the falling building. He kind of looks over and she's like, "Oh, I can go now? Okay." So then she drives off. He lets the building drop and then he flies above the cloud of dust and smoke below him. I just thought it has like one of the ultimate Superman shots ever.
It was beautiful. And I keep waiting for some people to complain about that because I always look there's explanation for how can he hold that building and not like, fall apart around him, or how can he like whip past and pick up somebody and that person that just like not have all their bones broken. And do you guys know the answer to it?
Some magical energy field builds up from his ability to fly. I don't know. They transfers to whatever he's working with or touching at that point. Like
it's tactile. There it is.
Tactile shield or something.
Almost tactile telekinesis.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. Yep. Thank you. I was trying to remember what the freaking term was.
Yeah. I was a huge 90s Superboy fan, and it was a giggle moment in every comic book because he'd always find a way to fit in tactile telekinesis. And every time someone like brings up why did this, and I was like, somebody's never heard of tactile telekinesis. Anyway, I've been like waiting for that moment ever since this movie started coming out, and that happened. I was like, come on, someone say it, someone say it. And it hasn't really happened, but just so you know, there's a reason for it. Tactile.
See, I think that would have actually fit Gunn's sensibilities more if he'd made a movie of the 90s Superboy. I think that'd have been freaking amazing because I loved the 90s Superboy after the death of Superman.
Yeah, that was dedicated.
Awesome.
I feel like what was the artist's name? Tom Grummett?
Yeah, Tom Grummett. Yep.
Yeah, the art was amazing. I got every comic. Like, yeah, that was my. And like, if you look just above that, there's a Superboy action figure. Anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, Superboy's a great character.
All right. Well, now that Gunn's introduced his DCU, what is everybody hoping they'll do with the DCU moving forward? Because I mean, they've announced Lanterns, Peacemaker 2, Supergirl movie. They're working on a Sergeant Rock movie. They're working on a few other things. What is everybody hoping Gunn will reach into, knowing that his zany, crazy, I'm going to reach into the deepest, darkest corners of DC for this universe? What is everybody hoping to see?
You first, because I'm going to get a picture of what I want to see.
I'd like to see a good middle-of-the-road Batman, personally, but that'd been cool. But like I've said before, I'm just really looking forward to a decent Green Lantern sub-universe in this, because the guy Gardner has given me hope. And I'm really hoping the Lantern Show expands on that and gives me even more hope, because I like to feel what I felt with reading the Jeff Johns run before we found out Jeff Johns is a piece of shit. Because Jeff Johns' early Green Lantern run was fucking amazing, and I loved every minute of it, or every page of it, more appropriately. So if I can see anything like that on the screen, and we can forget about the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern forever and ever, I want to see him. I want them. I do love the idea of not discarding anything and like bringing back like some things, and I would like
I mean, even if it's a joke, just acknowledge that like that the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern thing ever happened.
Well, just quick aside with that. Did you see that interview with Gunn where he said that while he was getting texted by Jason Momoa campaigning for Lobo, Gunn texted Ryan Reynolds like, "Hey, you want to come back as Green Lantern?" And apparently Ryan Reynolds texted him back, said, "Fuck you."
Awesome. This is where I want James Gunn to go, and I feel like this is what's happening. I want the culmination of all of this, like in about like maybe 5 to 8 movies. I want to see the final like showdown of a Kingdom Come level event. I want to see the true destruction, sadness, and like the choices of what heroes have to do, and the world of too many heroes. I want to see to go full Kingdom Come. That's where this should end up. And like he already has the S, so I think that's where we're going. Although, James Gunn did say that Peacemaker was going to indicate where everything was going, and it does sound like we're doing Crisis first, probably, which makes sense.
They have a tall task at hand with that, because I thought the CW, for as small budget as it was, did a fantastic job with Crisis. So I'm hoping, but to your point, I would like to see him go along the lines of Kingdom Come, even though it sounded like, didn't Snyder say at some point he wanted that to be the follow-up to the Nightmare storyline for his verse originally? Or
it makes sense. That's
I thought he mentioned something along the lines, but yeah. Anyway,
although the cinematic crisis is how I've kind of met Lobster Magnet Reviews and Isaac, and the epic video about like what all DC has and can use if they really want to, and you had this music going and you're just cranking away at like all these heroes that you really can do this. I was like, holy shit. And like, I would try to show friends this video, and like finding out like most of my friends don't want to do long essays. I'm like, oh, okay, guys. But seriously, like this is like the ending. This is where it should go. And I want to, CW did a pretty good job. And I like it. Like I was thinking like, I thought they got the idea from Isaac, but Isaac says that this has come from other people have said this idea as well for a while. Like, bring it all.
Well, Isaac, what would you like to see out of Gunn's DCU going forward?
I would like to see like a successful team up. I think I basically would like that magic of like the first 30 minutes of the Avengers, where they start like, it starts off very wonky, but then it starts clicking as like, oh, here's Iron Man, here's Captain America, here's Thor, and the characters start bouncing off of it. I want that magic, but for DC characters. I want that moment with $200 million behind it.
Agreed.
You can bring Joss Whedon back. I heard he's not busy right now.
The moment of like heroes coming together and it clicking, yeah, we need that before we do Kingdom Come. And
yeah,
although like, can we even do that? No, because like this world like has it really normal that heroes interact with each other.
Or maybe that's how they segue into Gunn's Justice League, is they have the Kingdom Come on with the world too full of heroes, and
oh shit,
maybe that is the path to Gunn's Justice League. Who knows? Maybe they'll remix it that way.
Yeah, do you guys feel this cinematic universe is too good for Isaac's idea? Like, oh, we're cinema, we can't bring the cartoon character, we can't bring the TV, but like, I don't know, you can. It's legal, and I would flip my shit if you threw all that at the window, threw it all, and see several Supermans flying at something. Just I do want that.
The only problem with it now is that like the stupid Flash movie kind of tried to do that, so I feel like they kind of like blew their shot at it, because that was what the Flash movie kind of did, where they had that like,
you're right,
you know,
exactly
the,
right,
the cosmic dome,
and
with
they
like,
couldn't get it right with Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
So I feel like the novelty of that is like kind of spent in there. I don't know. Maybe you could just assume everyone forgot about that and then try it again.
Please, like they got Michael Keaton come back. I forget everything. I can't see the flaws in that movie because they brought Michael Keaton back, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I got some other opinions, Batman.
Even
Yeah,
if you have to see him die for the 6 times in the failed fight against Zod.
Okay,
Beetle-
maybe I am holding some things against it.
Beetlejuice
Yeah.
can only fix so many things, man. It's okay.
It was so hard to bring Michael Keaton back, but he didn't change anything. Oh, Jesus. But yeah.
Kim Mystery, what would you like to see out of Gunn's DCU?
Give me a Justice Society, honestly. We have not explored that kind of era of DC at all in live action, and like we've had the shitty fucking Black Adam version of that, and that was awful. But give me the 1940s to 1960s superheroes, like all the weird fucking unknown shit. Give me like Starman. Give me fucking Star Spangled Kid. Give me fucking
Kite
Flash. Kite Man is not DC, Keith. How dare?
What?
I thought he was
Oh, wait, no,
Man.
he is. Oh, yeah. No, never mind. I'm thinking he is DC, but he's not from that era. Kite Man is from the present day, actually.
Gotcha.
Kite Man, hell yeah.
Mystery cosplay is Kite Man. But anyway.
Give me Earth 2 Batman. Give me Earth 2 Superman. Give me all the shit. I want all the stuff from that kind of like DC 1940s shit, and and James Gunn is the type of person that like can give me the obscure like stuff like the Seven Soldiers of Victory or whatever the fuck they're called. Give me everything. I want all that, and I know
agree.
James Gunn can do it.
Were you kind of disappointed they didn't go any further with that in the CW shows? Because they did have the Stargirl show, and they started.
Oh, Stargirl was perfect. Mwah. That was like that. That had like what was it? Grant Morrison or who? What was the comic writer that was behind that show? I know it was like some person.
Jeff
Like
Johns. Jeff Johns.
Jeff Johns. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeff Johns did. Oh my god. If they continued with the Stargirl stuff, oh my god, that would have been so perfect because they had like the right continuity, the right history, they had the right characters, they had the right everything for that one. I loved Stargirl for in terms of like Justice Society fanboying. Like holy crud, that was peak for me. And if they can just do that, but like set it in the actual like era of that time, like 1940s instead of like 1970s, that'd be nice.
I would like to see them out period drama Fantastic Four. That would be fun.
Give them out period Captain America First Avenger, honestly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they kind of with Wonder Woman? Well, I guess that's a case for it because Wonder Woman was like one of the few successful things of the DCEU.
And I guess
both the Wonder Woman movies were period pieces, basically. But yeah. Oh yeah, the one that you got up now. That's the cameo from Christopher Reeve's son Will, who was a street reporter in the new Gunn Superman movie.
He makes a really good Superman. he could pull that costume off. He was also an actor.
Will is an actor, but I don't know if he ever tested to be Superman. There were 3 finalists for Superman that Corenswet went out for, and Nicholas Hoult was one of the other finalists. So Gunn really wanted to keep him around, so they made him Lex Luthor. What's that?
Do you know who the third person was?
Tom.
Gunn Welling, imagine it was Tom Welling.
Thomas Brittany was the other third finalist, who I have never heard of until Gunn was talking about in the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. Like, Tom Brittany, who? Who the hell is this kid? Let me hold on.
Oh, I do have to leave now, Keith, but
all right,
this has been fun, and I'll be sure if we ever invite me again next time to give more opinions. I'm a little tired right now, so
all good, man. All good. You enjoy the D&D session.
Thank you. See ya.
Take it easy.
Later, man.
Have a good time.
And
Wait, how do you
moving
exit
on
out
from the
this?
stage now.
All right, there you go, Keith. Thomas Brittany.
There you are.
That was the third guy who, against Nicholas Hoult and David Corenswet for Clark in this movie.
What is he famous for?
A bunch of BBC shit. I've never heard of him.
All right, so he's like a British actor. That's interesting. It's also interesting that like James Gunn went for like lesser unknown. Well, it was a smart decision to kind of like go for like more unknown people.
Well, I mean, Christopher Reeve was relative unknown when he was cast as Superman. And I mean, Henry Cavill. I mean, can you really name any roles that Cavill had before he was Superman? He was in Stardust. He was in this little sideways part. Yeah, he was in Stardust.
Oh shit.
He was the big meathead meanie that was picking on Charlie Cox's character. Yeah,
Cool.
that was a very, very young, very skinny Henry Cavill.
Awesome.
He beefed up. And then Cavill was in a Joel Schumacher movie called Blood Creek with what's his nuts from Prison Break. But if you ever want to, and Michael Fassbender as a possessed demonic Nazi zombie. It's an interesting movie if you ever have a chance to watch it. But
there we are. The three Supermans.
Yeah, those are the final three finalists for playing Superman in the movie.
Oh, good job for Corenswet, because like just from my gut, I feel like Nicholas Hoult would have been the one who would have gotten it if I had to like put place bets on who I thought would win between those three.
I think Nicholas Hoult looks like a really good he would have been a really good Superman and had the acting chops for it. But yeah, I'm glad we got Corenswet.
I think
really his easygoing normal person style.
Yeah, I think the casting ended up where it was supposed to be, because Corenswet, he nailed it for the Clark that Gunn was installing with this universe. But I really want to see more from Holtz Luthor, like full on actual devious, multi-dimensional, beyond pocket universes planning supervillain.
I wonder sometimes, do directors get would they be insulted if someone were to help them out? Because like I remember like ideas of like, man, Michael Bay's a great director, but I wish someone would write for him instead, or if only Michael Bay was just
Bay never wrote any of his own stuff, dude. What are you talking about?
Or like there was the idea that Michael Bay would only be responsible for the cinematography and not the story.
Yes.
Yeah. And like like James Gunn, he'd probably be insulted. I was like, hey, James Gunn, could you have someone else write the more serious parts? Like, please, like, we love you.
It's hard. I think he's like he's too high. He's at the point where, like, you know, if you give a dissenting opinion from someone he doesn't respect, you know, he quietly asks you to leave the room, and then you never get to come back on it. I don't know how you.
He's pretty powerful now.
He's super powerful unless he fucks up, which it doesn't feel like he's in a position to. I guess from the financial aspect of it, what do you guys think is going to be the final box office tally for it?
Well, it just passed 400 million this weekend. And
for the record, I was about to bring exactly this up. I was like, it crossed the 400 million mark, which I think does confirm this is like it's a hit. So we're safe.
But it hasn't broken even yet.
Yeah, because like the tricky part that I think is really interesting is that like I think it's going to perform here better, and like a lot of young people really love it because it's they like the hope and the hope punk. Oh God, I didn't even bring that. Have you guys heard of hope punk?
Hope punk?
Yeah. A couple of years ago, they kind of talked. It's kind of like steampunk, where it doesn't really, exist. It's just sort of like a trend of like Steven Universe's hope punk, and like, these are like all the YA books that are kind of established the hope punk aesthetic.
Oh, I didn't know that was the genre name for it, but yeah, I'm familiar with the tenets of it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like one of those things where it like doesn't quite exist. It's just kind of like on the burgeoning, and people are trying to make it a thing. But I do think that like this Superman is like perfectly established, like, the hope punk aesthetic. What's more punk than caring for people and liking things and taking good value from your parents. And that's, I think, a big reason why it's going to resonate so well with the younger audiences. But the issue is that, like, Donald Trump has ruined the American reputation. And for a long time, Superman, truth, justice, and the American way. And you can't really break away from that branding, because it's like decades of branding. and it's interesting because like Captain America, you could say had the same problem, but the thing that Marvel did is that like Captain America represents the ideal of America, but not necessarily the American government. Because in Civil War, he basically says, Hydra's infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D., then I'm going to go against the government and tear down this institution. I just want to see it destroyed. And then in Civil War, he goes against the government where it's like, I don't believe in the Superhuman Registration Act, so I'm directly going to oppose Stark and the U.S. government and Thaddeus Ross.
Gotcha. All right, let's do final thoughts and wrap this up.
Yep.
All right, MJ, final thoughts.
I like the movie in spite of the fact that I just felt overwhelmed by the gunniness of the movie after we watched it. It just, I love James Gunn. I love his aesthetic. I love his attitude. I love the way he approaches things. But this is a movie that I wish I could hold up on a higher pedestal than I do, because it was just too James Gunn for its own good. I look forward to what he's bringing forward, and because I do kind of love that fuck it, go for it attitude when it comes to comic book movies, but at the same time, you have to let characters breathe. You have to let the moments in the movie or what the show, whatever it is, they have to breathe so that people can actually identify with the characters and the situation and what's going on and what's being told in the story. Don't be afraid to tell the story, James. Let it breathe, please. So hopefully the fact that he's not writing and directing everything in the DCU, and he's actually got a pretty diverse profile of people coming in to work on it, it'll be for the best for him, especially since he was talking about in the Josh Horowitz interview how he's lucky that he's still married after the last 3 years because he's dedicated so much freaking time to Superman and getting the DCU up and running. So good to start, James. Learning your lessons from this. Let's keep going forward.
All right, Isaac.
All right. So I started off with giving all of my criticisms. I'm going to give my praise. I think James Gunn achieved the impossible by creating a comic book universe filled with this high science fun and infinite possibilities that is palatable to a mainstream audience, while still giving lots of meat to the DC faithful. I think he nailed the casting for Superman and Lois and built a foundation that people want to see grow. Was it a perfect movie? I wish it was a slam dunk. I wanted it. I came in really liking the aesthetic, but I do think it was ultimately too busy. And for the hope of the DC universe going forward, I hope James Gunn is more of a tastemaker, someone who gives scripts permission to go and plays in the corners that he finds fun. Because I don't think conventional mainstream is his appeal, and he should have fun with the little monsters and side characters, which he loves to work with the most.
All right. My final thoughts are that my love of it grows the more I think about it. So, like, after the Thunderbolts, the more I thought about it, the worse it got. And with here, even with the flaws, the more I think about it, like I was saying before, that this person bring about this idea of like things that are soulless are born too much from formula. And the more you can see the formula, the more boring or soulless it gets. And for me, Thunderbolts, like, I kept on seeing Marvel formula like push through and kind of guide it, and it stayed in the same lane as whatever. Versus this, which, like, while messy and flawed, was organic and felt true and from the heart. Even though even the flaws felt still good, because I know it feels like it's coming from a genuine place and a genuine heart. And I love it. Flaws and all, and I really hope he like learns from this, like, because it seems like everybody's pointing him out, and I want to see him do better. And then also, I hope that in the Elseworlds universe, maybe Matthew Vaughn can do his Superman story, and that Elseworlds allows for other wild things that we wouldn't normally get in like
Matthew Vaughn, Superman Red Sun. Make it happen, please.
All right. I think that's it. MJ, can we find you someplace else on the internet if we want to look you up?
Not yet. I'm still on my social media blackout, but when I do resume the social medias, you can find me at MJ 3342 and just keep hitting refresh on social media. Maybe I'll show up there eventually. Might be a month from now. Might be 6 months from now. I don't know. It's been kind of nice and quiet without social media.
Also, would you recommend anything nerdy?
Anything in the vein of Superman. If you want to get into the roots of James Gunn's superhero-ness before, that's non-Guardians of the Galaxy, non-Marvel, he actually has a few out there. The movie Super with Rainn Wilson, that was one of his first Superman dabblings, or superhero dabblings.
And the actress formerly known as...
the actor known as Elliot Page, thank you.
No, not... She wasn't that then, though. That's all. Like, the person she was then, not the person she is now. They're different people. Anyway.
And of course, the other one that a lot of people like to forget about that was very much a Gunn family affair was the movie Brightburn, which is basically the Superman horror movie. True. That movie was written by James Gunn's brothers, and James Gunn co-produced it. So, which still throws me as like, okay, the same guy who did the new bright, shiny Superman was also involved with the darkest Superman shit I've probably ever seen. So, if you want to get into the background of more James Gunn's ethos when it comes to superheroes, check out all of his non-Marvel movies prior to Superman.
And if you want to see the one that put him on the map, Slither.
Oh, Slither's so good.
Mm-hmm. That was my first, like, who is this guy? All right, Isaac. Can we find you on the internet someplace?
You can find me at Lobster Magnet Reviews. Check me out there, where I've got most of my videos and video essays up on there. Hopefully I'll have something eventually soon. And my recommendation for people who like Superman content is you should check out Max Landis's Kryptonian epic. I think his American Alien run was highly influential. I don't know if James Gunn will ever admit this in public, but I feel like a lot of elements of American Alien are in this version of Superman and why it's so successful. And he basically did an entire fan fiction for his comic that he wasn't able to complete because of his cancellation. And it's all on his YouTube channel, these weird pitch videos that are like very expensive, usually him narrating or being in costume as characters, narrating his entire perceived comic book art for what he would do if he could have finished his American Alien storyline. And it is called the Kryptonian Epic. It's a bit difficult to follow because there's so many different videos and so many different timelines. But if you throw in a comment, someone will direct you at like the best place to hear about it. But I highly recommend it. He put out the last video of the Kryptonian Epic recently called Superman the Starlight Emperor, and
Nice.
It's 3 hours long.
Dang.
Good title. All right. All right. You can find me, search for Keith Justice or Keith Unlimited. That's why I'm on X/Twitter. And I guess what I would recommend, if you want messy but sincere, bad but still good, I've been watching the Iron Man cartoon. I think it's from the 90s. I wanted a palate cleanser from the terribleness that was Ironheart, and turned on the 90s Iron Man movie, a cartoon.
Is it the I Am Iron Man?
But that's second season. The first season starts with this really bad music. Like, I don't know who composed it or someone's paying attention while they composed it, but it's just like this. It's just like, it's so bad. I love it. I'm having so much fun with it. And like the animation, the writing, all terrible. Yet, there's something about it that's cohesive that like, it's like, it plays out like a kid playing with their toys, and that kid's really cooking that night, and like he's having a good time, and somehow it just like I keep on like watching another episode, and like yeah, if you just want to have some fun with some action figures and superhero, and it does come from the heart, and if you want to laugh at badness, like there's this hilarious part where he puts on his armor, and then it cuts to this horrid CGI sequence of like this jittery character pulling up a helmet and putting it on while this music just bangs away like it's awesome. I love it. So God, it's so good bad. I highly recommend watching the Iron Man cartoon.
All right,
guys. Thank everyone for tuning in to another episode of The Couch Command. We'll see you next time, and yeah, have a good one.
back. Freak night. Freak ride. Wrong place. Right time. Get down. Lose your mind. Cool it and love it. Freak time.